We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung kính Đại Đức Tăng Thinh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, tịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Nan Tô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hư Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya A La Ha Đế Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual doctrines. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian万劫难遭遇，我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Sutra, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good young advisors of me, Tofo. 诸佛菩萨、诸者大士、师父上人各位、出家人各位、上居士、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa trí giả đại sư Thiện Tiến Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 18th of July 2026. Thank you for joining our discussion of the Vimalakirti Sutra. We're on slide 31. The beginning of chapter number 2 talks about Pureland. This is where we are introduced to this lay person, one of the elders of the city, Vaishali, and his name is Vimalakirti. So give you a description of a lay person who was actually a Buddha in disguise. And he chose, the Buddha at this time here, chose to come to our world. He's from a different world, far away, as a lay person. Excuse me. And so why did he come? He come in order to teach lay people as well as left-home people alike. And so we are getting glimpses of what are his qualifications, what he achieved, and how he got there. All right? So on slide 31, it says he attained the patience of non-production. Patience of non-production is a level of wisdom in Buddhism. Why is it called patience of non-production? Non-production means that he can stop thinking. Non-production meanings no thoughts can arise at all. This is under his control. He can think or he can choose not to think. That's what differentiates a superior person from the others. Superior people, they can choose not to think. Ordinary people do not have that choice. And of course, when you get at that level, there are many more levels where you actually are better and better and better at it, infinitely better. Okay? The patient non-production, it sounds like it's the same, but actually his level is extremely high. Much higher, for example, than the patient non-production of, let's say, a fourth-stage arhat. Below fourth-stage arhat, it's not possible for you to have non-production. You cannot stop thoughts. Fourth-stage arhats are higher, you can stop thoughts. Okay, so it's a skill. It is a level of wisdom. It's real that you're able to attain this, to achieve this level of self-mastery. Patience. Patience means that, I explained this before, it's important to repeat it for you. Patience means that he got to this level of non-production through the cultivation of patience. And this is also another characteristic. So this is another methodology that's very Buddhist. I rarely see this kind of teaching outside of Buddhism. In Buddhism, we emphasize patience. When you first start coming to Lu Mountain Temple, to Wei Mountain Temple, to Gold Forest, to Jewel Flower, and so forth, all our way places, okay, you will be first trained to develop your patience. Patience means that it's unpleasant, and yet you hang in there. It's difficult, and yet you don't give up. In everything. Okay? Ordinary people, they can be patient. For example, a man who wants to make a fortune can be real patient. A person who likes to be creative can be patient in that process. Patience for us in a China world, in American Mahayana, is patience in everything. Okay, so as we go through our daily lives, when things are unpleasant, that's how we practice patience, folks. It starts with a Chan class, Chan training, full lotus, because you're learning to be patient with your pain, with your discomfort. But it extends to everything in life. You have to learn to be patient with whatever bothers you, whatever you don't like. Okay, and that's how you develop true wisdom. Do not think Buddhism is simply crossing your legs in full lotus. Do not mistakenly think Buddhism is ascetic practices where you eat one meal a day or two or whatever. Do not think Buddhism is just offering to Buddhas. Buddhism is to do those things so that you have the blessings to practice patience. You cannot buy money. You cannot buy with money patience. You have to earn it. You have to develop that skill. Okay? And so the Master Sutra here chose to explain this as a praise of Vimalakirti. To me, I take it from a different perspective. I'm more interested. Yes, Vimalakirti is an outstanding individual. I highly admire him, okay? But he's way beyond me. And therefore, what I'm presenting to you is something that, from my perspective, from my viewpoint, where how do I get there? This is not meant to reduce his achievement. I'm only saying it's there, up there. How do I get there? How do you get there? That's my angle, okay? But Machichuto is different. Machichuto is up there already. So he says, this is so interesting. This is actually the praising of Dharma body, okay? And so forth. All right? And any questions? Next. And here we are now told by Master Chucho on slide 32 that Vimalakirti, or which translates into pure name. Vimalakirti is Sanskrit for pure name. And he's actually golden grain Tathagata. Okay? And so he's a Buddha already. He has achieved, okay, this is another jargon for you, supreme patience of still extinction. That's the Buddha's patience of non-production. You see, I told you, different gradation, different levels. It has the top level, that is the supreme patience of non-production. Okay? And then he also tells us, this is the clues that help me understand, help convince me, as Master Chucho is so advanced, so high up there. He says, if you get to level equal enlightenment, which is a step below the Buddha, this Buddha is extreme, supreme patience. Second, supreme patience is called upper level of this supreme patience. And then the highest level and equal enlightenment, which is one step below the Buddha, would be middle level. Okay? And interesting, I didn't know that. And then 10th ground, which is below equal enlightenment, would be lowest level of patience of still extinction, of non-production. Isn't that cool? It's for your reference. It's a lot to learn. We have quite a ways to go. Okay? And it's very challenging. Why did they do it? Because it's fantastic. All right? And what does it mean? Low level, middle level, and so forth. It's probably too technical for you, but this is of interest to me. Okay, I don't bother getting into it because it doesn't mean anything to you. Okay, it's very interesting. Okay, yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. In the relics exhibit, we have one relic of someone who reached equal enlightenment,
yes.
Right?
You only have one only.
We only have one, which is pretty
here
special.
At WMT, right?
At WMT,
yeah,
right.
I always remember.
So that person who reached that level is above 10th ground, but below Buddha.
Yes.
But still 2 more levels before he can reach Buddha. I don't know am I saying that correctly?
He'll become Buddha next.
Oh, he'll be Buddha next. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Master.
And when he becomes Buddha, he'll be into something called the Buddha in waiting. So when he's supposed to become a Buddha, he then moves to an area called Buddha in waiting, like Maitreya Bodhisattva, who's a Buddha in waiting. He's a Buddha already, but he says, I'm going to hold off until my disciples are ready. Then I become Buddha to help them. You don't just become a Buddha. You become a Buddha because you're supposed to help your disciples. Isn't that cool? So Maitreya, for example, is qualified to be a Buddha, but he says, no, I'm going to wait for all of you. Yeah, he says, these people are not ready yet, so I'm going to wait until Yonghua is no good. So, if I come right now, it's no good. So I need to give Yonghua more time to prepare you to, to get help from me. Yes. Isn't that exciting? Now, Francis is so excited. Yeah, goodbye, Master. Sayonara.
Not yet, Master. So equal enlightenment is above 10 ground, and
yes.
Are there like multiple levels within equal enlightenment? Or?
Yeah, it's always gradations. It's like American. We have American which is like my president. I mean. And then me, who is like a beggar. So there's a wide range here of American. So equal enlightenment is the same thing. In Buddhism, we have a lot of talented people, folks. Don't think that you're alone. There's so many of us. Like Buddhas and equal enlightened bodhisattvas and 10th ground, 9th ground, and so forth, and 8th ground. Look around you closely. Okay? And the problem with people who are higher than us, we cannot see them. Cannot see them. We only see people, as Master YongHua says, below us. That's how it is. And think about it. We have so many of these talented people. You think that we are scared of the demons? No, we're not. Okay? There's so many of them who are quietly watching over us and say, okay, I let the demon harm you for a while to make you humble. Teach you to be more humble. Huh? Okay? So it's so cool. We have a huge network of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are working day and night to help us, to guide us. Okay? These are supreme beings. And they do it invisibly. They don't need our recognition. They don't need to say, oh, that's another notch in your gun barrel on your revolver. When you're cowboy's time, you get a bandit and you carve out, a notch there, and another one. I killed another bandit. No, they help left and right. Okay? There's so many of them. Don't think that they're ignoring you. They simply are patiently, first of all, they're helping us invisibly. Number two, they're patiently waiting for us. Waiting to help us to the next level. And that's typical of that kind of behavior that you see in Maitreya Bodhisattva. He's waiting. He said, okay, the best thing for me to do is wait so that I can help a bunch of people very quickly. Okay? So he'll let me train you for now, help you build patience, slap you a few times here and there. Okay? Okay? And that's part of your training until Maitreya comes. Forget about Yonghua. Here you go. Yes, sir. Now Diego is so excited. Hello, Maitreya. Goodbye, Bodhi light.
Thank you, Master.
A lot of Buddhists are like that. I say, forget about Master YongHua, Master YongHua, and so forth. I am praying to Maitreya Bodhisattva. And they're right. Yeah. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master.
Now you all know. You don't need me anymore. Yes?
No, we need you, Master. We need you. Master, this reminds me of what you were saying earlier about that it's not only about them, but it's also about us, being that we need to deserve to be able to, for them to teach us. It's not only, because most of us are always complaining like, why not me? But we don't do anything to really be ready for them to teach us.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's not very polite of me to tell you bluntly that you taught because you deserve to be taught. Remember, they don't need to teach us, okay? They have lots of things to do. They're extremely busy. So we have to ask ourselves, why would they teach us? I know you think highly of yourself, you're special and everything, but ultimately they have a lot of people to help. Therefore, those who get help are the ones who deserve to be helped at that time. So I want you to have that proper attitude. Don't worry about why not me? What about me? You worry about working hard and in time, with your hard work and your dedication, you'll be taught. All right? Next. Attain unobstructed eloquence, roaming spiritual penetration, and all dharanis.
辩才无碍，游戏神通，带诸总持。
Okay, this is an interesting area. He says, this being, this Vimalakirti, is such an outstanding individual. And what does he do? And this is how Buddha described to you what these superior beings do, how they function. They have unobstructed eloquence. That means their mouth karma is superior. Okay? And it manifests itself, okay, for the worldly level, for worldly standards, eloquence. Unobstructed. Nothing can obstruct them. No demons can do anything to them. Okay? And we explain more, getting more, we'll give you some more details, what I found to be interesting about eloquence. So there are standards of something called eloquence in Buddhism. It's not just words. Okay? And number 2, roaming spiritual penetration. Roaming is to roam around. Roam meaning you just go. You roam around. As if there's no destination, you just roam. Think of a roaming ronin. Anyone understands the Japanese culture? I don't. But I watch a lot of movies. That's what comes to mind. That's how I learned about Japanese culture, through Japanese movies. What kind of movies? Samurai movies. Yeah, I like bloody things. Okay? Violence is it. And so you know, a samurai is a knight, if you will. From Western culture, is a knight who has a master, who works for a lord. Okay, that's a samurai. He gets paid. He gets paid maybe 20 kokus a month, or maybe 1,000 kokus if you are a samurai instructor, where you teach people how to fence and kill people. Okay? But what happens in Japan is quite often the masters, the feudal lords, they get killed or they get demoted. The emperor is unhappy with them and say, okay, you're done. You're out of here. Okay? So they ask the lord, the feudal lord, to commit seppuku. Seppuku. You know what seppuku is? Yeah, that's exactly right. They take that knife there, okay? They wrap it in white paper, okay? The short knife they have, there are 2 knives. Samurais have 2 knives. One long one to kill people and short one to kill themselves. You know, yeah? 3?
One long for fighting in battle, one short for fighting close distance, one small to kill yourself.
Oh, thank you. I only saw 2.
Watch it again.
I will. Usually the long one to me is a lance. No? I say in the longer one?
The long
Amazing
sword
how
is
much
for
I'm learning from my lectures.
The long sword is for fighting outside in battle, but if you were in close quarters, you need something shorter to fight.
Yeah.
So it's too long to fight. So you have a medium
Like
sword.
within the houses.
Yeah, anywhere, any place. That's
hallways.
shorter. Yeah. And then a super short one is for ceremonial that you don't wear with you in regular fighting. It's just to hold for just, looking cool. But that's the one you use to kill yourself.
Ah, so the ones I saw in the movies are the medium length. Ah, I didn't know that. So the seppuku thing is a different knife. No, that's very long.
Yeah, seppuku knife is a short knife. Like it's not super short like a
The way you describe like this is like.
Well, my fingers are short.
2 inches.
It's not correct to scale.
So anyway, so there's this short knife, okay, where they wrap the white paper, mind you, okay, probably the same paper they would use to write a poem before they commit seppuku, okay, and they wrap around it, and then they wear white, of course. White is purity, okay. Everything is in white, so they open the kimono, expose the tummy. Okay, and then they wrap the white paper and they they go like this. And blood comes out. Yeah, there's a lot of blood. At least in the Japanese movies. So you see blood spilling out. And then pretty soon you see your intestines coming out as well. Okay. And you die. Okay, so that's how the Japanese feudal lord killed themselves. After the lord kills himself, then the clan under the lord it dissolved. And so the samurais who used to work under the Lord become ronins because they have no more masters. So ronins are masterless samurais. So they roam around. That's what roaming comes from. They go from one place to the next, to the next, to the next, doing menial work, maybe working a little bit here and there, and so what roaming is that you walk about without any sense of direction. Okay? Meaning roaming spiritual penetration here, you're able to use your spiritual penetration to go places. Okay? And that's the karma of body. Okay? And then Odaranis refers to mind karmas. Okay, let's get some more details. Okay. Virtues of the mouth is eloquence. Is a speech, unobstructed eloquence. And that's how you create mouth karmas, merit and virtue, which will create your dharma wealth, or blessings, if you will. Mahayana blessings. All right? The unobstructed eloquence, meaning there's no obstruction to their eloquence and how they express themselves. Okay? And therefore, dharma unobstructed eloquence, principle unobstructed eloquence, word unobstructed eloquence and delight in speaking unobstructed eloquence. Okay, and this is what bodhisattvas are supposed to develop. And this is why that in the morning ceremony we recite this mantra, okay, the good goddess mantra. Namo Bhutto, Namo Dhammo, Namo Sangye. See, I haven't done it for a long time, I still remember. Okay? That mantra there will help you develop eloquence. Okay? And so, Dharma, unobstructed eloquence refers to you can speak Buddha Dharma eloquently. Excuse me. Number two, principle of unobstructed eloquence. Even though you speak Dharma, but doesn't necessarily mean you can speak the Buddhist principles eloquently. A lot of people, for example, they study on the 42 hands, the 42 section sutra, so they speak Dharma with eloquence, but they can't really penetrate the profound Buddhist principles. So when we talk about principles here, you're talking about pretty high level of wisdom. All right? So you talk about Buddhist principles with eloquence. Number three, words unobstructed eloquence. This is interesting. Just because you speak Dharma, you can speak the principles in Buddhism, you need to also have words eloquence. Meaning what? The use of language. Okay? So that's why these enlightened beings, they can write poems. And that's a skill of using words right there. See that? That's why Master YongHua has words unobstructed eloquence. All right? Next level, finally. And so you see, I want you to understand the gradations here. First, you need to be able to speak about the Dharma without any fear, eloquently. Number two, you need, as you make progress, you'll be able to speak of the deeper principles without fear, eloquently. Number three, beyond that, you need to be able to use a worldly language to express in a way that more and more people will be able to understand and appreciate it. Okay? Not just Buddhist jargons. And that's what Master YongHua is about. He can speak the profound Dharma using very simple words. That's the Chan masters. That's their specialty. All right? Whereas you listen to most Dharma masters, they stick to the Buddhist jargons. They speak. I've learned, I heard so many of them. And this is what the Buddhist disciples want to hear nowadays. They only, if you speak and they don't understand, all they can hear from your words, your talk is one Buddhist jargon followed by another and so forth. I've listened to so many of them in Hong Kong, in here, in Garden Grove, in you name it. And these are very popular masters who earn a lot of praise and respect from the disciples and the peers, because many of them would go to university and get a degree, PhD degree in Buddhology, or they study a lot of Buddhist scriptures, and so when they speak Dharma, they use a lot of these different Buddhist jargons, and they chain them endlessly. I used to listen to this one master, this 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, in Garden Grove. He's pretty good. He's well known in that area. And he invited me because he wanted to impress me. We knew I had Lu Mountain Temple. Maybe I should consider becoming his disciples. So I listened to him for about an hour. And I was so bored to death. And I was the number one seat, right there in front of everyone. So he spoke Dharma, and I was so bored, and I was scared of falling asleep. The worst thing you can do is doze off as a number one seat. See, Master Z can doze off anytime he feels like it. It doesn't bother me. But not me. I was terrified. And this, I'm grateful to him. It's funny to you, but I'm grateful to him ever since I knew that every time I sat down, when someone else is lecturing, I always make sure I can learn. I learn how to be awake the whole time, no matter how bored I was. Master Yi, he shows it's true appreciation. Poor guy. So anyway, and every time people would come out with these lectures, and it's, the master is fantastic. He speaks Dharma so beautiful. Between parentheses, I didn't get a single thing out of it. It's so advanced. True Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, I don't understand at all. Okay? So in contrast, Master YongHua, he speaks using very simple words. Okay? Why? It's because he designed, and this is why number 3 is important, designed to motivate you to cultivate, not to know, not to understand. Next level. Okay? You need to understand number 2, the Buddhist principles well enough for you to be able to explain back and forth. Okay? Left and right. But next level would be to be able to explain it in simple words that people can understand and put it into practice. To motivate people to practice. That's my teacher's skill. It's the only one I found who's like that. And number 4 goes beyond that. Master YongHua goes to the next level. Delight in speaking. Meaning that he enjoys speaking Dharma, and people who listen love listening. I remember as an idiot, I would listen to his tape lectures every day. I loved it. In Chinese. Mind you, it's Chinese, I didn't understand. I still loved it. It's some sort of spell, let me tell you. Okay, so interesting. This number 4 is, the point here, folks, is that the job of a monk is to speak Dharma, right? A lot. Most of the time, the Buddha speaks Dharma. That's all he does. Primarily speaks Dharma. He goes everywhere. Let me speak Dharma to you. Someone offers him lunch, he speaks Dharma after eating. Okay? Emperors invite him to the palace, he speaks Dharma to the emperor and the court. So, you understand here, this is what Buddhism is about. If this is what you do all day, if this is what your primary line of work, you might as well enjoy it. Yes, it's hard work for you right now. You're so, how much longer? Okay? That's will bring you, this is a training for you to get to the point where you actually delight in cultivating. Yes, Diego.
Thank you, Master. Master, for us to have this eloquence, we also need to have affinities with people because, for example, I don't feel that many affinity when listening to Master YongHua, but when I listen to you, I'm so happy. And it works different for you. So,
And bless you. Thank you.
so for this, do we need to have affinities with people so we can also have this eloquence with them?
It's not always the case. What happens is that the affinity helps with the eloquence. So on the receiving end, first of all, you have the eloquence yourself. Okay? You have the skills. But whether the listeners can appreciate it or not is something else. That's point number one. You're right. And maybe there's certain more affinities and whatever. Plus, I speak in English. He spoke in Chinese. Okay? And the translation, unfortunately, they lose a lot. I'd say 25% minimum in the translation. Because Master YongHua, I love listening to him in Chinese. Even though I didn't understand much, I understood about 10% at best. But I loved it. Every single word I was able to understand, it sunk in. I connected with those 10% of his talk. And that's good enough for me. So it's a huge difference there. And furthermore, the other aspect of it is that even though you don't have affinity with him, the eloquence generates affinity. So it works both ways. All right? I'm only explaining it to you from the perspective of the Dharma speaker, that I want you to understand that in cultivation, you understand that, there's a struggle, there's hard work and all those things, but ultimately, you discover that even though it's not easy, but you enjoy it more and more and more and more. It becomes, until when you reach the end goal, it becomes a delight. And I want you to know it's not like from here until there. It's always hard work. Actually, you pay attention, actually it's more fun, even more fun, and so forth and so forth and so forth. This is why we're doing it. That's why I'm doing it. Every day is a struggle, but there's also some brief moments where it's so cool. All right? See these 4 levels of eloquence. You see that? Okay, more details for you. We're not talking about only generalities. We're talking about actually details on how it's gauged. The Buddha is pretty detailed, actually. Okay, in the past, we stuck with the 4-level eloquence just to give you a general idea, but I want you to understand that from the general 4-level eloquence, you can go to more details. And this is one way of describing more, giving you more details. That's another form, another list as well. But we're not meant to teach you everything. I just want you to be exposed to these concepts, how interesting it is. Okay? What is eloquence? Buddha described eloquence has one way to describe eloquence is 7 different aspects of eloquence. Okay? One is rapid eloquence, okay? Meaning you immediately reply without hesitation to everything. What does it tell you? No thinking. Someone throws a question at you, here, you get it right back. It bounces right back. Rapidly, without thinking. That's Chan right there. Okay? No thinking. Number 2, sharp eloquence. Okay. Sharp eloquence. What is sharp? Sharp is something that can penetrate. Okay? It can slice the fish when you make sashimi. Okay? So sharp is that the ability to penetrate quickly. Okay? Effortlessly. And so it helped you to go into depth. So this eloquence here is not only fast, rapid, but also sharp, because it can penetrate deeply. Like that when you commit seppuku. I don't know why I'm stuck on seppuku today. Okay? When you do seppuku, okay, supposed to go in very deep right away. Because you go, you are a wimp. Okay? So you go, now you can go slow. Because when you go slow after you in, it shows how tough you are. You're going to die anyway. So you go, oh, it hurts. What do you do? See that? That is strength. Okay, guys? You understand now what is strength. All right. So deeply enter is sharp. Inexhaustible eloquence. Here, right here, speaks all dharmas, okay, markless, all dharma. He can talk about Hinayana Dharma, he can talk about Mahayana Dharma, he can talk about whatever, okay, even though he doesn't understand, let's say, Tibetan Dharma, but Tibetan is in between Hinayana and Mahayana, because you understand Hinayana, Mahayana, okay, you understand Mahayana, then you can understand anything. Okay, so all dharmas, okay, markless, that's Mahayana. Boundless, inexhaustible, that's Avatamsaka. Got it? Huh? This is the details for you. Number 4, continuity eloquence. When speaking Dharma, definitely explain one section and next without discontinuity. Meaning, he changes principles one after another, like your recitation beats continuously. Okay? So when you recite the Great Compassion mantra, you're developing that. Okay? That's continuity. See that? Number 5, appropriately reply eloquence. So meaning that when people ask you a question, you can reply without making mistakes. Okay? What does it tell you? Number 5. Questions and answers sessions are important in our work. You cannot say, I don't know everything, therefore I'm going to limit my question and answer session to 5-10 minutes. Because all you're doing is prohibiting yourself from developing this form of number 5 form of eloquence. Don't be afraid. You don't know. Okay? You don't have to be afraid. Okay, so this is why when you speak Dharma you can speak Dharma that's appropriate to the listener and without making mistakes. All right, this is why I encourage all of you to open the floor for questions and answer sessions. Don't be afraid, okay? You don't know, say you don't know, and say I have to come back and do more research, ask my teachers or my peers about this matter. I come back to you. And this is how you develop number 5. If you scared and limit the interactions, then your eloquence will not be fully developed. Is that clear? Don't be afraid. Number 6, principal eloquence. Meaning that you can speak about emptiness and the advantage of cultivation. It's based on principles, true Buddhist principles. And number 7, okay, it's called supreme eloquence. Yeah? What is supreme eloquence? It has 5 characteristics of sound. Okay? Sound far-reaching like thunder. Number 2, clear sound, resonant and far-reaching. This is why you practice the Weno. The good Weno sound are very like a bell type, okay? So resonant and far-reaching. All right? Number 3, sound soothing, gentle like Kavalinka bird. Kavalinka is a bird in the Western Bliss Pureland. You read it every single Sunday morning during the Pureland Dharma Assembly, where there's a bird, Kavalinka bird, that when it sings, it's like it singing, very melodious, very good to listen to, okay? And so the sound is very soothing and gentle. All right? Number 4, the sound here can make livings enjoy it and bring up respect in their heart. And that's what a Dharma master needs. You're not like Taylor Swift, where you only sing and people enjoy listening to it. It has to make people like and respect, bring up respect in their heart. Number 5, they listen without getting bored. All right? It's very specific. I want you to have the details of where we're going. Okay? And the standards here of eloquence. Okay? Lots to do, folks. Roaming spiritual penetration. It refers to the fact that he flies, he can go. This is spiritual penetration naturally, and that he's able to go to places instantaneously without going through airport lines. You know, the last trip to Europe is nerve-wracking. We flew into Portugal. We stuck in the airport clearing the passport for about 3.5 hours. 2 lines. They showed us to a line, and then after an hour and a half, we found out that those automated terminals didn't work, only worked for 5% of the time. And after that, we skipped to the next line. That's for humans. That's another hour and a half. And after that, I say, I'm never going back to Lisboa. I'm not ever flying to Lisboa until I met my disciples. Okay. Maybe I'll go first to Switzerland. And then when we left from Charles de Gaulle, don't go there, folks. That's Liang left before we did the day before, 2-3 days beforehand, a week beforehand, because she has to go back. Okay? And back then in Paris, they had problems, so they said go to the airport 4 hours ahead of time. So Liang did that. So she went to the line. She said, "Oh, it's no problem at all. Don't even show up 4 hours. 2 hours is all you need." I said, "Okay, just be safe. That's that spent 3 hours ahead of time. He went there, and guess what? Machine didn't work. We were there about 2 hours. And the airplanes, because we came late, the airplanes were boarding, and machines still weren't working. I told myself, I'm never going to Paris again. Scary things. Okay? If I had roaming spiritual penetration, think about it. You save so much money and time and aggravations. So it's useful. This is when I wish I had more spiritual penetrations. The heck with airports. All Dharanis, that's mind karma. Dharanis are mantras, if you will. All right? I think there might have some details here about mantras. Okay? So Dharani meaning that chung chu, or you uphold all these things through the sound, by uphold the Dharma, uphold the meanings, uphold the roots and the principles and so forth. So when you recite Dharanis, when you memorize Dharanis, and you practice Dharanis, you are creating all these benefits for yourself. Okay? Merely reciting Namo Hola Danna Dola Ye Ye Namo Eli Ye, you get all these benefits, folks. Okay? And you're welcome. Obtain fearlessness, subdue demons, toil, and resentment.
或无所谓，降魔老怨。
Okay. Fearlessness. And Master Sutra tells us here, Buddhas are fearless because they have powers that are overwhelming. The Buddhas have overwhelming power, and that's why they're not scared of demons. They're not scared of obstructions. Nothing bothers them because they're so powerful. Okay? I want to remind you, because there are different kinds of demons. I don't know, in Buddhism, there's a definition of 4 demons, 8 demons, 10 demons, and so forth. Okay? And Master Hsuan goes as far as 50 skandha demons in the Shrangama Sutra. You see that? So it goes, the list, it depends on how detailed you want it to be. Know that we are very knowledgeable about demons, more than they realize. Shh. Okay? Just between us. We know about them. They didn't realize that we know them. We know about them. All right? But what I want you to understand is this concept of fearlessness. Okay? This is your cultivation. Your cultivation is you cannot open your great wisdom. I'm talking about 1G or higher, unless you overcome the fearlessness. Overcome your fears. Yes, in the back.
Master, sometimes I'm scared of Master. I still don't know how to overcome that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. And be that way until the rest of your life. How do you think you achieve fearlessness? It takes a long time. My experience has been, most of my disciples are scared of me their entire lives. But that's how I like it. Yes, 7.
마스터, 저는
밤에 아니면 캄캄할 때 다니는 게 너무 무서운데 이번에 지금 제 방에서 화장실을 가기가 너무 무서워서 저녁에 화장실을 못 가는데 그런 두려움은 어떻게 해야 될까요?
Master, I'm very afraid of dark. So here, I'm so afraid of dark, so I cannot go to the restroom at night. So how can I overcome this fear?
Someone give her a room closer to the bathroom. Oh, Yehua has another idea. Give her some flashlight. Yeah? You know, it's funny thing because, when I was a kid, growing up in Vietnam, we didn't have a lot of light in Hue, the ancient capital. And so at night, I was living with my grandma. And at night, I had to go pee. Excuse me. Okay? And so I would say, Grandma, I need to go. He said, okay, go. Because back then, those houses have no restrooms, no running water, no restrooms, okay? To go to the restroom, our house is a brick house, okay? And then in order to go to the restroom, there is a hallway. If the house is big, the hallway is about 4 times longer, okay? And the restroom is so far away. There's no light in the restroom either. That's Vietnam for you, my era, okay? And so I say, Grandma, I need to go. I say, okay, go. I ain't going with you. No, at night? Are you kidding? No. I said, go. I said, okay, Grandma. So I went out, and so I went out. So the house is big. So I went out to the edge of the house, and then and stood there. And did it right there. Because I ain't walking to the restroom again. And apparently this lady here never outgrew that. Yes, 8. So what can she do?
Thank you, Master. Well, I think that the way we overcome fearlessness is through patience, through enduring.
Enduring it. Okay. So that means that at night you should go more often. Endure. Yes, 6.
Hi, Master. I kind of talked to her about that because before I met you, I was kind of like that.
And she had to come all the way here from Korea to confess.
Yeah.
No one back in Korea knows that.
I was afraid of darkness, and then also when I go...
So what did you do?
I did number 7 and 42 hands and eyes. And it was super powerful. And then and with the meditation, also my mind was getting stronger, not afraid. And plus number 7 really helped.
Did it work, number 7?
저는 솔직히 어두울 때 꼭 누군가가 저를 쳐다보는 것 같고 귀신이 있는 것 같고 항상 귀신이 무서워가지고 좀 절에도 오게 된 것 같고 이거를 이제 컸는데도 이게 떨쳐지지가 않고 절인데도 이상하게 귀신이 더 많이 보는 것 같고 그래서 더 무섭고 좀 그렇습니다.
When I'm in dark, I felt somebody is looking at me, and I'm so afraid of ghosts. Even if I'm at the temple, I think there are a lot of ghosts, and I'm so afraid of that.
Yeah, they share the same room as you. They sleep there, you know that? We're sleeping with ghosts. Get used to it, lady. Grow up. You think like you give you room and it's for you? No, it's for the ghosts too. And usually 1 person to 10 ghosts. Now she's going to sleep with her son the rest of the time. And you tell your son too. You tell him that, you know that you're sleeping with 10 ghosts, Master says. See what he does. He said, you sleep by yourself? I said, oh yeah. What are your mom? I said, oh, I don't want to sleep with her. Okay, yes, 5.
Oh, Master, I used to have the same problem, especially a few years back before I started going to the temple. I found this.
It's only recently that you're able to overcome your fear of the dark?
Yeah, well, so I don't know. I'm not saying this story means anything. Some years ago, like right before I found the temple, it's just some stupid stuff happened. I came out of the shower and I found a woman's handprint on my mirror, and it's super long. And I wasn't with a woman at the time.
That's Elvira.
So I'm not saying it was real, but it scared the crap out of me. And for a while, just waking up in the middle of the night and go pee was just weird. But when I started going to the temple, I started reciting Shurangama every time I meditate, which is daily. And for some reason, after I started reciting Shurangama every day when I meditate, I just forgot about that fear.
Yeah.
It just disappeared on its own.
Yeah, because the Shuranga mantra itself has fearlessness effects on you as well. So, Sarah is right. Recite number, what is it, number 14? Teach her to recite number 14. Let's see if it helps. Is it 14? I'm pretty sure it's 14. Yes, 9.
Dạ thưa thầy, con cũng là rất sợ ma. Hồi nhỏ con phải ngủ với bà ngoại con cho tới ngày con lấy chồng luôn. And then after that là con phải ngủ với chồng hoặc là phải có một người nào ngủ với con. Để đến khi con tới chùa này cũng vậy nè, con cũng sợ giống cô đó, sợ bóng tối lắm. Mỗi lần con đi quắt xuống con đi tiểu á, là con rất là scary. Có một lần con bị cô bằng trà đè ở trong cái phòng á, con la làng rồi con kêu thầy. Xong rồi con cố gắng chịu đựng, mà bây giờ con tối con hay ngủ trên đây mà có sometimes con ngủ con cũng hơi sợ, nhưng mà con trước khi đi ngủ con sẽ cầu nguyện với Phật và Bồ Tát, Long Thần hộ pháp với thầy hộ trì cho con nằm ngủ ở đây không có bị cái gì hết. Dạ, là con yên tâm ngủ. Dạ, A Di Đà Phật.
Hello, Master. So before coming to the temple, I'm also, just like her, afraid of the darkness. Even when I was young, I stayed with my grandmother for a long time, all the way until I get married, and I always have another person sleeping with me. Next is my husband or someone else. And sometimes I also endure that there's time that I stay over at the temple. And there was a time that I got the Kumbanda ghost lying on me, and so I yelling a lot, and I call out your name, and then I try endure it many times, and sometimes I just sleep in the Buddha hall, and before I sleep I pray to the spirit and the dragon and the Dharma protectors and master so that I can have a peaceful sleep. That's what I do.
Still the temple? You still have fear of the dark in the temple? Okay.
Now it's okay thầy. Yeah,
now it's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Còn không có sợ nữa. Hồi đó mới lúc mà just start come in here, so I very scared. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yes, go ahead, Jung. 5.
Master, the Pandama ghost also visited me throughout all my life, but it stopped. After the Shurangama. I haven't had it since.
Very good. I assure you, it'll be back. He says, I'll be back. Guaranteed. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. I've been telling this story to many people, but it's so funny that one time I was in between awake and sleeping, and I saw some ghosts. So I started Dashitan and when I started reciting, they look at me and they said like, Dashitan. They were mocking me.
It's mocking. Yeah, you can recite, so can they. Okay, guys? Better than you. That's what Master XC says. When he was reciting, his Vietnamese mantra, and the ghost reciting better than he was reciting. So we know the only one who can recite, okay, folks? All right. So I'm shocked that today that you are reminding me that you adults look like normal, but you're not. You have a lot of issues. Oh. Well, if you do these things, you practice, eventually you outgrow it. Hopefully like Jung, you outgrow those fears. And that's a natural evolution. When you have more and more samadhi, and you start reciting the 42 hands and eyes and the Shranga mantra and those mantras better, then the ghost says, I'm staying away from this mama. Okay? That's all. Toil and resentment. And it refers to the translation into English is toil and resentment. Actually, in the next section, we explain more about what really means. It's really not toil. But here, toil resentment, according to Master Sutra, he says that the demons have the power to cause trouble, okay? And that the trouble is for a purpose to prevent us from developing our wisdom. Okay? So they show up to hinder our practice. And that's why they're here. They're here to help you. Okay? And they're here to remind you of your weaknesses so that you can rest assured that you still have that weakness. Others around you have been practicing, have been able to overcome that problem. Okay? Demons will make you fearful. Okay? Especially in the case of being afraid of the dark, it's a natural thing for people. Even grown-ups are scared of the dark, especially men. I mean women. And some men. Okay? But it's natural. Okay? Eventually you'll be able to rise above it. Actually, in Chinese, Lao is not really toil. Okay? Lao here is Chen Lao. Chen Lao, which is dust. Okay? So it's very subtle. Lao, Yuan is good. Yuan is resentment. They really hate you. I don't know what you did for the demon to come and scare you and make you be afraid of the dark. That's why, when you hear these people, you kind of wonder, what did he do? What did she do? That the demons will come and bother them. Okay, that's yuan right there. Yuan is that they resent you. They have grievances against you. Okay, and they cannot forgive you. That's yuan is resentment. Okay, resentment is okay, but I explicitly actually they have grievances against you. In the past, you frightened them. That's why now it's payback time for them. Is that clear? Okay, that's resentment or grievances. Toil here actually refers to not really toil. Lao is actually Chen Lao, or worldly dusts. Okay, meaning that they use worldly things, cars, money, food, you name it, all the worldly things we attach to, okay, to distract us. That's what Lao really means. Now, I don't know how to translate it. Okay, because you see this everywhere in Chinese text scriptures. They also have Chen Lao, okay, Lao and Yuan. You see this in many, many sutras. So I want you to understand, I want you to know that toil and resentment is a very good translation, but it doesn't quite capture, the toil doesn't capture the real meaning behind it. It's actually Lao here, is Chen Lao, or nonsense. Lao is really nonsense. Unimportant, inconsequential. That's Lao. Okay? Or toil. Is that clear? So that's Lao here, right here, Chinese character here. The good thing is that Vietnamese and the Koreans would have the one-to-one translation, so it's okay. But in English we struggle because there's no real equivalent concept of Lao in English or in Spanish. No such one-to-one concept. So that's why it's hard to translate. Okay, maybe we translate as Lao or whatever, or worldly dust refers to your worldly attachments. You attach to safety, you attach to comfort, you attach to the familiar. See that? Sound familiar? Huh? You attach to comfort, you attach to your safety, you attach to, and etc., etc. That's Lao. Does it help? There's no equivalent concept in English. No single word that captures that. Okay? Chen Lao is dust. Lao is toil. So the dust, toil, meaning dust is insignificant, it's nonsense, and yet you toil for the dust. Okay, Duki? Yes, 6.
That is caused by demons.
Yeah, the demon.
For comfort and all that.
Yeah, the demon only activate that deep desire in you, desire for comfort, desire for the familiar, desire to be in control. The demon knows that your attachment, that's why they can push that button. So Lao, that's why it's Lao. Okay? And they translate, if you understand Vietnamese Lao meaning what? I explain to you for you Vietnam people. Lao meaning you lying. The demons are lying to you, that's all. Vietnamese is very, very profound. Yes, anyone else? Yes, 6.
So, Master, how do you recognize that? I mean, the rough surface you will be able to, but more deeper.
You look at it. Why am I scared? So when you're scared, you go after you've done your thing, come back to your room and meditate on this. Cross your legs and recite, number 14. Is it number 14 or 15? I don't remember anymore. Okay, recite number 14 until it goes away. How you deal with it? Don't ignore it. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Master. Master, that toil and resentment, how do we see it in the sutra? Because it says, obtain fearlessness, subdue demons, and then it jumps to toil and resentment.
Subdue their hard work in trying to confuse us. They're toiling, they're working very hard. That's the concept behind toil. I'm glad you asked. Toil is believe me, Buddha says, demons are working very hard day and night to distract you. They're toiling to confuse you. Don't think it's one-time deal. They watch you day and night. And they wait until it's dark. And you blow into your ears. I'm here. Did you hear that at night? I'm here. Yes, 5.
So, Master, when we make harmful choices, is it a combination of our karma, our habit energy, and these beings who tell us, encourage false thoughts in us, all three?
Yeah, all those. All the above. Easy answer. Okay, we stop here today. Thank you, everyone.